Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to have you here today. So this is another, edition of Lose It with Zoo. And today we'll be looking at loyalty, but we'll be examining it through the lenses of Ruth. Why did I pick Ruth? So I was doing Bible study and I always come back to Ruth, every year. And I was looking at her life, and what struck me most, how can this human being do this? You know that there is no future here. There's none. There's no hope of, a husband. There's no hope of having kids because she's old. And she was so bold as to say, where you die, I die. Where you go, I go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. That is like earth shattering, in all honesty, because not many people can do that. And that's the true definition of loyalty. Loyalty tied to an individual beyond what can be gained. Because in Ruth's situation, there was no future. There was no hope of having a husband from this person. She was old. There was no prospect. There was no possibility. She just believed that I have pitched my tent with you. And because I made a commitment to your son, who is now dead, my loyalty lies with you. And I am attached to you, come what may. Whatever may come, I stick with you. Isn't that like mind-boggling, honestly? Because when I try to rationalize it in this day and age that we live in, it is very hard to make it feel real. Like when I try to picture this happening now in our present day, the typical reaction would be, okay, husband's dead, son's dead, everybody's dead, there is no future. Why am I sticking around? We live in a me first, others last, others at the end. There's this song. Sorry, I have to go and do this. There's this song, J-O-Y, J-O-Y. This is what it means. Jesus first, yourself last, others in between. No, this world that we live in now is myself first, myself last, myself in between. Every other person can, go solve their problem by themselves, because it's about me. I define my future. I am responsible for what happens to me. I am the owner of my life. I define my destiny. I decide what will happen. I am the captain of my ship. But in reality, we are not really the captains of our ships. God is. God is the captain. He sees all, he knows all, he directs all. So back to Ruth's story. To be able to have that conviction to say, whatever happens, I choose you. It's like, and it's like someone saying they will marry someone who's fatally ill, for lack of a better example, because I loved you when you were normal, I will love you till death. It's like a marriage vow. So because I married your son, I married into your family. So you are my responsibility. I am your responsibility. What happens to you happens to me. What happens to me happens to you. That is like the very height, the zenith of loyalty. And it's difficult to understand her frame of mind, because like I said, when I try to pitch that story in present day, what came to mind was, Ruth would definitely have her circle of friends, and she'll be like, how can I tell my circle of friends that I am staying with this old woman? I'm not moving on, like my second wife, the wife that married the lady, Opa, I think that's her name, that married the other son, left. She went to, find greener pastures. She had to go sort herself out, and nobody can actually blame her for doing that. In all honesty, you cannot blame her for saying, thank you, it was nice knowing you, I need to go sort out myself in that situation. But I picture Ruth, in this present day, telling her friends that, my husband's dead, my father-in-law's dead, just my mother-in-law left, but I'm going to stick with her. We're going to do this together. Wherever she goes, I go with her. I'm living my life for her and with her. I am not going to, look for another husband. I'm not going to look for another job. I'm not going to let my family talk me into, marrying again, or, finding my footing and, moving on with my life. But no, I have decided to stay with this woman. Just try to picture in this present day the different scenarios that could have happened, from the friends to the family to even the inner battle with herself. Because to come to the point where you can say, I am dead to myself, I'm dead to my desires, I'm dead to what I feel I am entitled to, but I give it all up to be in your company and to serve you. That's the height of loyalty. That's the height of commitment. And that's the kind of commitment that a lot of people look for in friendships, in relationships, in marriages, in family. People who are your people that will stick in spite of situations. Not fair weather friends who would leave, for better for stay, for worse for go. There's some people who take those kind of vows that when things get rough, when things get tough, I'm out of here. It doesn't concern me. I'm only here for the benefits in this relationship. But what I'm learning through this study and looking at loyalty is that loyalty is not about you. Loyalty is not about what I want. Loyalty is about a commitment and a greater good. Is making a decision and sticking to it, irrespective of the outcome and the benefits, perceived benefits to me. Because when Ruth made that decision, no one knew there was no Boaz in sight. If you've read the story, you know that there's a Boaz later in the story, but there's no Boaz in sight at that particular time. There is no hope of anything. There's just blind belief and conviction. How many things are we convinced and convicted about, as in blind commitment, that I am unwavering in this decision, I am unshakable in this regard, there is nothing you can say to me that would move me. And if we look at it, at our faith in God, and in maybe in our work relationships, or just look at the different relationships you have and ask yourself, do I have unwavering loyalty to God? Do I have unwavering loyalty to my family? Do I have unwavering loyalty to my spouse, my partner? Do I have unwavering loyalty to the person you call my best friend? It's just a food for thought. So just think about it for a while, and I think by the next time we get together, we can see how far Ruth has gone in her story. But take time to reflect and ask yourself about loyalty. What are the things you are loyal to? Who are the people you are loyal to? And if you do this exercise and you find that, in all honesty, you have no such loyalties, the question is why? Why? Because if you have not found, my view, found anyone to, or found anything to, that has demanded loyalty, and you have committed your loyalty and commitment to whatever, I don't know what it is, it may be your religion, your faith, your family, then if you have no such thing, then I think there's a problem. Because at some point I believe we should have our loyalties. We should have the things that we hold dear. Like for me, I hold my faith dear. For me, my loyalty is to my family. To me, my loyalty is to my faith. You know, there are some things that are unshakable. There are some things that I'm committed to, that come hell or high water, I will remain stable and committed to that. But if you can't say one thing you hold dear or are firmly committed to, then I ask you to have a rethink and do some self-reflection. Because loyalties, like I said, is not selfish. Loyalty is defiant and is a firm belief and a commitment to something, a decision, a person, a lifestyle, a religion, a God, a following, a commitment, a commitment, a commitment. And we need that commitment. We need that commitment. We need to be loyal. We need to be loyal to God. We need to be loyal to our families, because it's in that loyalty we begin to see things take shape. You know, things begin to take shape, because that commitment is, and that loyalty is faith in what is to come, in what lies ahead, is a belief, a strong belief at that this road, this person, this thing I hold there will be a positive outcome at the end. So I charge you today, reflect and find out where your loyalties lie, because it does lie somewhere. It does lie somewhere. Until next time, ciao.